Okay, so we've all taken history classes before, right? So we all studied different eras and stuff. If you would have asked me 10 years ago, I would say that history was probably the most pointless class you could ever take. Because I didn't understand why learning facts about like people from long ago or situations that happened, I didn't understand what it had to do with us, so I didn't care. But now it's different, and I'll explain why. So this book that I have is a collection of newspaper articles, pictures, and old war memorabilia from my grandfather that my mom received when he died. My grandfather was at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941, when it was bombed by the Japanese. He was only 19 at the time, just like me right now. This book was a keepsake from him, and it is treasured by me and my brother and my mom. It represents his late teenage experiences as well. This book explains the important role that he played in American history, and that's why I define with this item. Since he was a teenager, he always loved aircrafts and airplanes, so he wanted to become an airplane pilot, so he got his license early on, and then he joined the Air Force. So I'm going to explain a situation that happened with me and my brother. Like 10 years ago, we would always fight, siblings get in fights a lot. And then one summer, one day, my grandparents came over and visited, and we were in an argument about something really dumb. I can't really remember what it was. But anyway, it ended up with me saying, I hate you. I wish I never had a brother like you. I went up my stairs, in my room, just, listen to music or reading books or whatever. And then my grandfather came in and wanted to know, why I said what he did, what I said to him. And I told him that, my brother just likes to get in arguments with me and likes to tease me a lot. And then my grandfather told me something that I never knew about him. I never knew he was an orphan. He lost his mom when he was 2 years old, never really met her. And my great-grandfather worked in the coal mines a lot, so he couldn't take care of him and his 4 older sisters at the time, so they placed him in an orphanage. So he joined the Air Force. So he told me that you should treasure your brother and your parents and all those, because one day they're not going to be there anymore, so you might as well make memories with them while you can. And that's another reason why I identify with this item, because every time I think of my grandfather, I think of that lesson that he taught me, and that's why I try to be nice around my relatives and stuff. So he joined the Air Force because he wanted to protect his loved ones and serve his country. My grandfather taught me the importance of family values and of history. This book is significant to me because every time I look at it, I think of him and what he taught me that day. It keeps my memory of him alive, and it shows me the history that took place decades before I was born. Even though he's been gone for 7 years, I can't stop thinking about him every time I think of my family. So now you can see my initial thoughts about history change, because history teaches us about lessons to be learned in order to prevent it from happening again, which is what I think my grandfather did with me and my brother. So in an interesting way, this is how I became interested in history. So I think if you're ever bored or you just have nothing to do one day, you should just go ask your relatives or anyone you know if they have anything to contribute to history. Because if you ask them and they tell you, it's a really amazing experience, and they can tell you all about it. So I hope you all enjoyed my speech, and thank you for listening.